Hey everybody, welcome back to Flight Sim. We are in Cairns, Australia. We are flying today down to Auckland, New Zealand. It's over 4 hours flight time, and it's currently about 5 o'clock local time. So we're going to be landing probably sunset or just after sunset down in Auckland. Should be a good flight. Weather looks pretty good. Let's hop on board and get this Airbus A320neo fired up. Alright. So, just getting my checklist here, and we will get ready to go. So, parking brake is set. Chocks are removed. GPU is connected. We can tell because it says external power is available. Throttle is set to idle. Engine master cutoff switch is set to normal or off. Battery 1, battery 2 come on. 25.4 volts, both reading correct. Generator switches are on. External power is now on.
637, sorry, you're requesting a visual departure, is that correct?
Get the ears aligning.
637. 637, okay, cancel that airways clearance and I'll continue clearance.
Air going, oxygen is on. We'll turn up the brightness on our panels so that we can see what we are doing.
Plan 637, clear to interfile direct, visual departure.
There we go.
5000, visual.
ETM.
Squawk 6053, departure frequency 126.1.
Clear to interval direct, visual departure, climb 5000 visual, 6053 and departure 1261. Thank you very much, into line 637.
Panel lights are set. Gear lever checked is down, flaps checked are up, and speed brake lever is retracted. Fuel quantity is good. We'll turn the belts on, and we will now tune ground and tell them that we will take the jetway, we'll take baggage, we'll take catering, and supply, fuel is good. So here comes the jetway. So they're loading up the other stuff in the back.
763 on Fox across runway 1.
And there we go. Cabin secure, passengers are now boarding. Go down, we can start setting up the McDo here. There's our aircraft information, which is all correct. So our alternate today will be NZCH, which is Christchurch in New Zealand. There's our route YBCS, which is Cairns, to NZAA, which is Auckland. 6128 is our flight number today. Cost index of 25 and a cruising altitude today of 33,000 feet. So that is all good. Go to our flight plan page.
On the A320, taxi by Kilo
runway information and our departure information. So runway 15 and the Swift 8 departure. And if we go back on our arrival, we're going to be arriving on the ILS for runway 05 right. We're going to come in on the, just take a look, UKAP 1D OCAP. Is this one, the 1D approach? We're going to be coming through Langus. And we will insert that into our flight plan. So we'll do a quick check on the ILS for runway 05. Frequency is 110.3, and if we go in here, 110.3. So that is good. Go over to performance. It's going to be a flaps 1 departure, so our V speeds will change. 134 on the V1, 140 on the VR, which is our rotate speed, 142 for our climb out. So that is all set. Still loading cargo, and we've still got 2 minutes to go on the baggage, or the adheres to the line. So we're going to turn on the APU master. I'll wait for that to come up with the flap open, and we'll start the APU. Since passenger boarding is going pretty quickly, we should be all on board very shortly. Beautiful day here. Cloudless sky. And flap is open, so we will start the APU. I'm going to throw the beacon on so they know that we're starting up the small turbine and getting that up and running. A couple other things we're going to look at. We're going to go to 7,000 on the transponder in the box. That's our European/international transponder code when nothing is assigned. So we're going to use that. And everything else would seem to be good. So let's get our head adjusted using the sight gauges. There we go. So that's what these are. So you adjust your seat ideally. Let's see.
520, apologies for ground structure now.
No, that's fine. It's just the jets are lining up behind you, but you've done well.
Thank you, 520.
Yeah. So ideally, the proper seating position is you adjust yourself so the red ball is covering the white ball, and that puts you in the proper head height and forward back position for everything. So we can take a look on our plan. We'll take a look at the route. We'll go over here. So we're going to take off, basically left turn and right turn along the route here. We skip down through the steps. It's a southeastward flight all the way down. Here we pick up the North Island of Auckland, fly down the length of the island. And you see we come in, do a little bit of a fish hook here, and line up for the approach and in. So our flight plan is all set. We can go back to the performance page and put that back in that mode. I'll get the current altimeter pressure is 298.5. So we'll go to 298.5 and 298.5 on the standby. And it looks like we're set and everyone is on board. Alright, so we'll get the jetway removed. Thank you very much.
Course 79 Grand, g'day,
It's now
taxi
going
by
away,
Kilo
so we're
today.
going to lock the door to the cockpit, and we will get ready for pushback. So we're going to push back, tail to the left, and it's a fairly short taxi out today. So should not be any major concerns. So we'll get that lined up and going. There's the truck coming in. I'll take the parking brake off so it'll go when it's ready. And then we can start engine 2 first today. Should be hooked up any second now. There we go. Start selector over. Put on the fuel pumps. And we can start engine number 2. We're not going to start engine number 2 because I forgot to put it on APU. There we go. Engine 2 is stable. Hydraulic pumps are on, and let's check out engine number 1. Alright, sounds like she's up and running fine. Engine's all stable. So hydraulic switches are all checked. Electrical generator switches are checked. APU can come off. And mode selector back to normal. So before taxi checklist. Probe heats will come on. Heading and altimeters, heading's good, and our altimeters are set and cross-checked. Standby instruments are set. Radios, avionics are set. 7,000 in the box. Autopilot set. 3,300. Flight director is on. Auto brake goes to max. Flaps moving. 1+ F trim. To 1 up, and flight controls. So we have full left, full right, neutral, full back, full forward, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, and neutral. So we are ready to taxi. So taxi light goes on to taxi, parking brake comes off, we're going to taxi out here to the right, down, and then we'll go around and we'll pick up the runway far end. So parking brake comes off, power the engines. We're restricted to a taxi speed of 20 knots. It's company procedure. Don't want to get much more than that anyway on a straight, because you can quickly get away from you. arm the ground spoilers. We'll do the TO configuration checklist, and last thing to do, we'll let the cabin crew know when we make this turn that we are just about ready to go. Just wandering away there. That's better. Gorgeous looking evening here in Cairns. Should be an interesting flight. Of course, you have no control over the aircraft when you're out in this view, which is a little frustrating. Alright, he's back on the power a little bit, and we'll make our turn. Give them a ding, let them know we're here.
Ground, Cannon and Force ship, PFB2 each receive Quebec, request taxi, roll time 32.
Cannon down ground, taxi holding
so I've been through the FMS, I've corrected a few of the altitude, it had us cruising at 39,000 feet, I've changed that. So it's at 33, so the altitudes look good. So once again, we're going to give the managed descent to the ILS a try and see what happens. But that's a few hours from now as we approach into Auckland. Alright, so here we are at the runway. We could backtrack a little bit, but
1351, contact departures, okay?
Honestly, it's not that far down to the other end. We'll take off from here. So, parking brake will go on. Flight instruments, left and right, are checked. Instruments are checked. Everything looks good. Takeoff data, V1. 134, VR 140, V2 142 is checked. Nav instruments are checked. Everything is looking good on the system. Landing lights on. Nose wheel to takeoff. Strobe lights will go on. The pitot heat, that's the probe's heat. It's on.
5 for hovering 5 outbound with the waiver if it's required. Traffic to Zulu,
transponder goes to TARA. PWS goes to auto. Weather radar will go on. And we are good to go. So we'll click on the chrono, release the parking brakes, and start to move out. Fairly long runway. It's 10,000 plus feet. We're going to do a rolling start today. So engines are spooled at 40% and are good. Nose down to 10 degrees, and we'll go to flex mode. Flex, runway enabled. 80 knots. 100 knots, ease back on the pressure. It's V1, rotate. Smooth rotation back to 17 degrees, positive rate, gear going up. Now climbing out to our transition altitude.
Just 201, line up runway 34 right.
It's 1,000 feet. We'll begin our left turn. throttles are back to climb mode, and slats are moving up. Aircraft is accelerating. Go to autopilot.
To flight level 180.
There we go.
Flight level 180, Helix 512 Delta.
So we're in the climb mode now. Coming back on course. Speed is 250. Passing through 5,000 feet.
King 512 Delta, resume your nav, clear direct to Sunny Coast.
I nav direct Sunshine Coast, Helix 512 Delta.
A nice view out the window. So we can retract the spoilers. Nose taxi light can come off.
Just 800 descending level 190.
And at 10,000 feet our transition altitude, the landing lights will
Descending
come
level
out.
130, just 800.
And we are on our climb. Feet, good enough. We'll come off. Lights will come off in the back so people can get up, move around. Cabin crew can start dinner service since it is a dinner time flight we're doing. Altimeters go to standard. And we are on our way up to the cruise. So sit back, relax, enjoy the meal, enjoy the entertainment on the IFE. And we will see you as we get ready to start our descent into New Zealand. Hey everybody, welcome back to the cockpit. Hope you've had a good flight. We've had some interesting weather on the way over. Flew over a pretty intense thunderstorm. It's cleared up here. It's not bad. Everything is pretty good. So as you can see here, we are 80 miles, well, about 70 miles out from Paris. That's the entry point into our approach. We have a top of descent marker here just passing about 39 miles out. And we're going to use that to see if we can do a managed descent. Now I've been through the plan. I've checked the altitudes. You can see here at Paris we got to be at 22.8, KK at 19,000, 6,000 at Chile. Just going to
Sure, take it easy, 10, so level 1,
that's to the 19.
Level 1, manager, Connor 69.
And we will make do 7,000, that's fine. Then 6,000. 3,000. 3,000 is our intercept altitude, so that's what we're going to be gearing down towards. So we're going to use it. We're going to see how it works. You can see this is the North Island here, and this is the part that extends up, and you can see it out the window as we fly over here at night. There's the very top end of the North Island of New Zealand coming into view. It's fairly late. We've been going for about 4 hours, 17 minutes. So we had a 7:30 or 5:30 takeoff time. So that would put us at about 9:30 at night. We should be on the ground in about another half an hour or so. So as I said, it's been a pretty quiet flight. So we're getting close. So the way we do manage mode is I've got the speed on manual because I've been playing with it a little bit, and we're going to keep adjusting the speed because I don't want to overspeed at any point. But the altitude we are going to turn down to the lowest we want it to go, and for us the lowest we want it to go is that 3,000 mark. That 3,000 is our do not go below. And it should start a descent, and then using the altitudes on the flight plan here, it should target to hit those points at those altitudes. And that's how we manage our descent down. It's going to be interesting to see if it actually does it. That's what this little experiment is going to be, and we'll monitor it on the way down and see how it does. So it's Paris about 19, what was it, 19, or Paris at 22,800, KK at 19, and then we drop down. By the time we get down here, we should be 7,000, then 6,000, and decelerating and into 3,000 when we get down there. So it's going to be interesting. We'll see how we do. So the weather currently here at Auckland International, which is the weather I'm looking at. Winds are 210 at 8 knots, and it is 20 degrees. So if we go into our arrival here, we're on 05. I don't think we're going to use 05, not with ones at 210 at 8 knots. So we're just going to look at the airport. So we're going to come in for runway 23 left. So we're going to change that now. So we're going to go here, arrival. And we're going to go for the ILS 23 left. And we will insert. There we go. So now you can see it's changed our routing a little bit, and instead of looping around this way and going in, we're going to loop around that way and going in. And we'll go here, we'll do some quick adjustments here. 19,000. And here will be 7,000. And again, into Chile at 6, and everything else is looking good. So we're almost there. So we are in. So we're going to come over here and we're going to click in on the button and put it into managed mode. So we're now in descent. So we should be targeting that 22.8 for there. There we go. We're starting to nose down. And we're going to keep our speed at Mach 0.80 for this part of the descent. And we'll watch and see what altitude we hit there. And that will bring us, or let us know how we're doing. So we're going to go back to the weather. 30.21. So 3021 is the QNH. Temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. Winds 210 at 8. Transition altitude is 8,000 feet. And if we go back to our approach, which I'm going to have to change now since we changed runways. ILS runway 23 left.
Hey, we've got thanks. The inner control says on heading up to 60, climb 2, vertical 220.
For our
Climb 220 and heading up to 60, Echo Whiskey Golf.
223 for a Cat 1. 223 for our decision height. And if we go to our radio nav, 109.9, and the chart says 109.9. So that is very good. So we're looking good on our descent. Again, we are targeting 22,800. Although that's not working because we're rocketing down at an incredible altitude or incredible speed. So let's not do that. We're just going to blow right through there. Okay, so I was hoping that was working with some of the modifications here. Obviously it is not. So we're now going to bring this speed back down to 7.0 and just right back to 350. So now we're going to monitor. Obviously we were too low now, so we'll bring that down. We'll keep a slight descent going. We'll bring it down to 300 feet. Let's just go back to our performance page for a second. So everything is entered there, that's fine. So KK, we're going to want to be down at 19,000, so we'll bring it down to 19,000 and then we'll kind of level it out a little bit. So that's rather disappointing that that's not working. But we can work around it.
Tickets 551, call level 240. 1240,
Alright, so KK is 20 miles out. So 4 miles a minute. That is 5 minutes to get there. We're got to drop basically 2,000 feet. So at 1,000 feet a minute, that would be 5,500 would be 2.5. So we're going to leave it about 3. And we should be down to about 19,000 when we get there. There we go, making our turn. See the lights down below now.
A323, wind rate descent to 8,000, QNH 1023.
8,000, 1023.
So I'll pick up with you again when we get down through 10,000 feet. And we do the rest of our approach into Auckland. So it's 10,000 feet, speed check 250 knots. Landing lights will come on, taxi light goes to takeoff. Landing system is on, fuel quantity is checked, 2,600 kilograms. Flaps are up, landing gear is up. Strobes are on auto. Anti-ice not required. It is clear skies. And we're continuing our descent.
Good morning, Rex 116 on descent 9,000 to Cedar
Rex 116, good morning.
Change that to 6,000 just because we got a little bit of a ways to go, so I don't want to go too far down before we get to where we actually have to be 3,000. Here it's just above 3,000. So we'll change that when we get a little bit closer.
Runway 345 and we'll call vector next 316.
It's a nice smooth descent. Not seeing any other traffic out here. Though it is a night flight, we're almost 5 hours now. So that's, well, 5 hours since we pushed back, 4 hours, 41 minutes flight time. So it'll be about 5 hours, which will put us at 10 o'clock at night here. So maybe it's a quiet period here at the airport. Keep the descent going down to 3,000, that's fine. Let's get you back. There we go. Don't like the way it dives like that.
10,000 with we have November. 416, descend via the star, 9,000, 34 left, expect independent visual approach.
Little islands and bays out here. We're on the southwestern side of the main island, the top of the main island. So we're not doing bad. We'll decrease that to 800. I don't want to cross Chile less than 6,000. Even in the dark, you can still see how hilly it is out here. I believe those lights over there, that is the city of Auckland. A port city. It's on the water. Great sailing and boating traditions out of there. And it's where they hold the ocean race when it goes to New Zealand. They hold it out of Auckland. Just turn you up to 500. Slow that descent rate down a little bit. So we're heading this way, and then we are going to loop around to the left and into the airport.
Killing 41 Delta, turn right, heading 16 rapid airman.
Alright, 160, killing 41 Delta.
Still got a bit of a ways to go. But it should be pretty good. So I'm going to do a few more TOPA flights with the Airbus. So that'll get us around a little bit New Zealand and over to Australia. Some longer flights and show the east coast of Australia a little bit of love. And I'll try to pick flights that are during the day. I mean, this is the time that the flight was supposed to go off, so it's kind of on the schedule for the virtual airline. But it's all good. I'm starting to pick up the lights of the airport. It looks like the airport's right on the edge of the water. Should make for a nice approach. So when we make the turn here, we'll start into our approach checklist.
Check 403 Delta, approach today, expect runway 01 right, descend by start to 5000.
Descend by start 5000, killing 403 Delta.
Not a lot to see out there, but definitely coming closer. So everything's looking good. We go to our performance page. Everything is set. Approach speed of 157. Seems a little high, but we are carrying a fair few number of people. We're about 75% full. So obviously fuel on board is not estimating right, because see we're at 2.4 and this is saying 6, and it always says 6. Nowhere near accurate as it should be. The airport's somewhere over there. It's a shame they don't have the VNAV working. I'm hoping they get that sorted out soon. Or the guys at the A320nx project can get it working. Because it would be so nice to be able to do proper managed descents. I mean, it's fine having to do it manually, but it's not the way the aircraft actually flies.
403 Delta, cancel the star track for right base, runway 01 right, and descend to 4,000. Star track for base, runway 01 right, 4,000 Chilling, 403 Delta.
15 miles out for the turn, we're picking up the
left base,
localizer.
Right,
And if I go over to the approach chart, IMG is what it should be sending, and IMG is what we have on 109.9, so that is working perfectly. So it is a circling approach into the localizer, as you can see there. We're following the curve around here, and then we're going to pick it up. If we were coming in the other way, there'd be a curve on the other side, and then we'd pick it up there as well. So we've got standard approach down in here. He's a little bit more off. You can see the water there, big natural harbor. Very nice. I can see flashing lights out there, so I think that's the runway over there.
Just 800,
12 miles out from our turn.
1017. 5,000, 1017, just 800.
There's a little airport there. Not the one we're going to, but interesting. There's the airport there, saying it's 19 miles away. Well, the localizer is 19 miles away anyway. Still not seeing any other aircraft out here. Not even flying by. So we're almost down to 3,000 feet. Just going in to capture it now. See the box with the star means it's in altitude grab mode. As we hit 3,000, it'll lock in. It shouldn't have done that little dip. That's not something it would do. So we're now locked in at 3,000 feet.
Flight 425, cancel the start, turn right heading 160, vectors for left base, descend to 4,000.
Thanks, right heading 160, down to 4,000, flight of 4,000.
And we are ready to begin our approach. So, seatbelt signs are on. Radios are set. Speed to 210 knots. Speed coming down to 210 knots. Landing lights confirmed on. Taxi light is on. Ground spoilers are armed. Auto brake is set on low. Speed is 210. Flaps 1. Speed checked. There's the airport. We're basically taking us in on a kind of a right hand pattern. Town of Auckland. Beautiful bay going into there. I think it goes all the way around and comes back out, so it's kind of like an island.
Right,
See
Chile,
where we're taking, and then around and then in on the ILS.
Chile 323 approach, good day, expect runway 01 right, descend by star to 5000.
Stand by star 5000, Chile 323.
Come on. There we go. Get ourselves lined up here. Flying over the city. There's the view out the wing. View of the airport, and on the other side of the aisle, somebody's getting a nice view of downtown Auckland at 10 o'clock at night. We're going to hold 210.
66
a bit longer.
Out of 4000.
Out of 4000, velocity 366.
And it's probably good, so we're going to go speed 180. And airspeed below 200 knots. Flaps 2, speed checked. See, it's picking up the glide slope. We're now going to be under the glide slope as we head out, and then we'll turn around and then capture it on the way back in.
Velocity 141, runway 34 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 34 right, clear for takeoff, velocity 141.
And yes, this is saying that the localizer is... If we were facing the localizer, it would be off to our left, but because we're not facing the localizer, it's off this way instead of this way, because the localizer is actually over the way we're facing right now to our right. But it works on the direction the aircraft is headed. Same as VOR signals and stuff like that. It doesn't know what way the aircraft is pointing, so... For all it knows is we're flying in the wrong direction where we are, which would mean, yes, the localizer would be off to our left the way it would be pointing.
Dynasty 051, threshold wind 290 degrees, 4 knots, preferred exit, rapid
Off
exit,
in the
Alpha 2.
distance. Very nice.
Runway 34 left, clear
Good
to
to see
land.
somebody else out there.
Runway 34 left, clear to land. Okay, yeah, Alpha 2 Dynasty 05.
Alright, so we're going to make our turn around here. And things will start happening a little quickly. We'll keep 180 through the loop. As soon as we hit MRAG, we will start to dump our speed, get the flaps out, the gear out, and get the cabin crew ready to sit down. is sending us out rather far. There we go. Here comes the turn. Let's see how close it sticks to the loop here. This is actually a DME loop. How far out it is. 11.4 miles out from the AA beacon. This arc. We seem to be sort of sticking with it. Checking out what that aircraft is doing. You may be going straight in.
Twister 506, contact director 126.
In which case, it's good we're doing this. Create a little bit of separation. So you can see we're now under the glide slope, so we'll intercept it as we get closer to it. And here you can see that it's not moving as we're turning, so when we do turn around facing towards the localizer, it will be showing, yes, you're off. The localizer's to your left. So that's the way that works. There's the runway over there. I don't see that airplane. So once we get further around the corner and we're heading in a little bit better, I'll turn on the approach mode. Oh, there's some lights there. I don't know if that's him going away or not. See, we've pretty much nicely set up to intercept.
Killing 41 Delta, descend 6,000, turn right 090.
Slowly coming around the arc here. Well, there's a couple airplanes over there I can see now. That's one. Thought I saw another one. Maybe not. Alright, so approach mode is activated. And we're now into landing system mode. On there. Alright. Speed coming back. 157.
151, runway 34 right. Clear for takeoff. Clear for right, clear takeoff.
Flaps 3. I'll wait until we're actually lined up. I think he's coming in on this for this runway as well. Sorry, buddy. I'm here first. There we go, localizer is moving. The localizer is captured. So a little tailwind, but should be all right. And the glide slope is starting to move.
Camera crew, please take your seat for landing.
2,500.
All right. Weather is clear. We have the runway in sight.
2,500.
We're on the localizer. Glide slope's coming down.
Frosty 141, contact
They'll be coming up behind us.
Very welcome.
We are going to be exiting the runway to our right. And we are on the glide slope, so gear coming down. Last stage of flaps going in. Everything's looking down, everything's looking good. They're making him go around.
Qantas 510, wind 290 degrees, 10 knots,
here.
cleared to land.
To land, Qantas 510.
Of course, that's where you find aircraft all over the place or at airports. I bet you he's coming the other way. Yeah, still showing winds out of the west, but very minimal. See if he gets waved off. Flaps are fully down, gears down. Autopilot set, go around altitude is set, landing memo, no blue.
Tower Kelly 147, 7 mile final, Mr. 1 road.
Kelly 147,
You're
heads
landing,
to
aren't
Calculate.
you? Oh. You better go around. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, he's going around.
200. 100. 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard 5.
We are down.
Good day, killing 421 Delta Reach.
Killing 421 Delta Tower, goodbye.
100 knots, 80 knots, 60 knots, reversers are off. Auto brake off. Come on, turn the auto brake off. You should be picking up speed here. There we go. Caused a little confusion.
The holding point Foxtrot 5, received. Bravo.
2763, taxi by Kilo, hold short of Foxtrot.
Kilo, hold short of Foxtrot, yes, 763.
Alright, I'll stop here for a second. And do our cleanup. So, spoilers are retracted, flaps full up, engine mode selector is normal, landing lights off, taxi light to taxi, strobe lights come off, anti-ice is not a worry, brake temperatures are good, transponder goes to TARA, PWS off, weather radar will go off. I can go back to ARC. And we will taxi to our assigned gate, which is 28 and 29. Alright, let's taxi in. So the thing I'm noticing with Rex WeatherForce is it's not inputting the winds. It's inputting the clouds and the weather.
Cross runway 12, taxi holding point
Not the winds necessarily. So that's something that's going to get looked at because that causes confusions like these.
Cross runway 12, holding point Foxtrot 5, copy, 763.
So something to definitely be looked at. So we're taxiing to the domestic terminal. That's the international terminal there. But we are classed as a domestic flight because we're coming from Australia, and that's the terminal we're going to over there. And it's either gate 28 or 29, whichever one happens to be available. So we're going to taxi up here. We're going to take B5. B6 coming up, it'll be the one after this, and we'll take that into the gate. Here it is right here.
For Bay 29.
6215, LA ground, g'day, behind the Jetstar A320, taxi by Kilo to your bay.
On the A320, taxi by Kilo to the Bay, JetX 215.
And that's our gate right here. Just pull up. is pretty good. I'll put the parking brake on. Thrust levers are at idle. Ground connection is established. Electrical power, do we have? No. There's no external power available.
Good morning, velocity 214, bay 15.
Just waiting for the APU.
The
Can do the rest of it though.
Ground Day, bay 13, pushback approved.
Turn off the taxi light. They're off, strobes are off. Beacon on, and nav lights on because the engine's running. Any second now. There we go. APU bleed comes on, and the engines can go off. Beacon come off. Nav lights will stay on. Doors can be open. Flight director will come off. Landing system will come off. APU bleeds on. Fuel pumps. All go off. Beacon light confirmed off. Air ECAM status. Good. Pan lights are fine. ADIRS will go off.
Route 675, good day, late ground, taxi via Lima, Bay.
Seatbelt sign can come off. And we are on the APU. Guys, once again, a very, very interesting flight. It was a bit of a long one, but it's good to be here in New Zealand again. We'll see you next time as we fly around here in the Australia, New Zealand area. Bye for now.